Hey friends, welcome to Chai and Coaching. Rob here. So excited. In this video, we're going to talk about shortlisting. So once you've gotten admission in those colleges here in America, we're going to give you 7 tips on how to shortlist and choose the best college for you to come study here in America. Come check it out. Thanks so much for joining us in this shortlisting video. We're going to give you some great tips, 7 tips actually, plus a bonus from Divyanshu and Nischith. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Hi, I'm Divyanshu Sharma. I'm from New Delhi, India, and at UTA, I'm a management major pursuing MSHRM and MBA Human Resource.
Where did you do your undergrad?
I did my undergrad from Delhi University, from India, yes.
I'm Nischith Javgil. I am from Bangalore. I've done my undergrad from Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Bangalore, under VTU. I'm pursuing my master's in computer science here at UT Arlington.
Awesome. We're here in the business building. It's winter break, so the campus is dead, but some fun time to film some videos. And as you guys are applying right now and getting ready to come to America, we want to give you guys 7 tips that are going to help you, 7 really important factors to make the best decision on where to come study here in America. Because a lot of these factors are actually really different once you get here. So the very first one, the most important one that you guys are all thinking about is the price. So let's talk about the price, tuition, and scholarships.
So the first thing that you'll have to consider when you're coming to the US is this is quite a bit more expensive than if you were to do your master's in India. Scholarships and tuitions are pretty expensive. So you will have to check out what kind of budget you have for your master's, and depending on that, you will have to say, this college is fine, I can do this college for 2 years and manage all of my expenses. Or if you have very low budgets, you will have to look at a different set of colleges, and that is a different ballgame altogether.
Some colleges are only $5,000 a semester.
Yes.
Some are $30,000 a semester.
Yes.
And so there's a huge range of what it just costs per semester to study here in America.
Adding to that, just like we have application deadlines, we also have deadlines for scholarships. So some people just submit their applications and they do not worry about their scholarship deadlines at all. And they think that just with their application, they would be considered for scholarship as well. For few universities, you would have to fill in a form for scholarship, or when you're making your SOP, make that in such a way that you want a scholarship, or why do you need a scholarship. So in Texas, if you have any scholarship that is up to the amount of $1,000, you automatically become qualified for in-state tuition.
And that's 50% discount.
That's 50% discount. So you get instead of paying $13,000, which is my tuition, out of state tuition for one semester, I'm paying $4,000 to $5,000 per semester. And if you get another scholarship, then the overall price would obviously again reduce. Yeah.
And we've got a couple other videos about scholarships on Chai and Coaching, so be sure to check those out. All right, the number 2 tip is research opportunities. What's important about that?
So research opportunities, basically, for scholarship, they basically come out in 2 packages: graduate teaching assistantship and graduate research assistantship. So if you're interested, and both, if you're applying to Texas and you have a scholarship amount of $1,000, both will give you in-state tuition. Now, if you're interested to become a research assistant, which is a very, very popular job and everybody wants to be one, you should have something that you have researched about, and that research interest should align with what your university is researching on. For example, if you're interested to research about organizational behavior, then reach out to those professors who have already done and have published papers in organizational behavior, and reach out to them that you're interested to be their research assistant. So that's how you can get that research assistantship scholarship. For few universities, you'll be okay, Purdue is very reputed, or University of Washington is very reputed, but probably the professors over there might not be researching on organizational behavior. Their research, the very reason why that university is popular might be for a very different research topic, which might not incline with your research interest. So definitely that's another factor that you would consider when you're shortlisting.
All right, factor number 3 is location. Let's talk about why location is so important.
So location is very important. Firstly, you'll be living over there, the cost of living is dependent on where you're living. Say, for example, I'm living in Texas, so the cost of living is significantly lower. But for some of my friends who are living in California, the cost of living is insane. So you will have to decide again what kind of budget you're on and what kind of amount you're okay spending for your living. You'll have to consider the month's rent, you'll have to consider your phone bills, and many such factors. And another very important thing are the job opportunities that are available. Say, if I'm in California, I will be around a lot of computer science companies or hardware companies or electronics companies. But if I'm in Texas, or if I'm in Arlington specifically, the number of companies would be significantly lower. So you will have to do a trade-off. So if you're okay with some amount of money being more, you will not get that much of exposure. So it's just a trade-off. You will have to decide which is all right for you.
Since I'm an HR major and I worked in the profession of human resources for a year, when we are kind of like shortlisting our applicants, like our final applicants from which we would consider like these are the applicants to which we would send the final job offer, we also consider that this applicant is there in this location. So if he's moving from LinkedIn to Chicago, we would have to pay for his relocation, which is like another amount in his overall compensation package. So that kind of like, gets us lost in conflicting thoughts when we are like, okay, the applicant is really good, but then we would have to pay him extra. So yeah, if you're like new to the companies near in Dallas area or Chicago area or in Seattle where we have Amazon and other big companies, so then that's a good option.
Yeah. So big cities are going to have more local job opportunities, great for networking, but it's going to be much more expensive in California, New York, Boston, Seattle. But mid-sized cities, in the Midwest, like Texas, Kansas City, have good job opportunities, but also cheaper living. Then you have really good colleges in some small towns. So it's going to be very cheap to live there, but there's not much of a local economy. So these are all factors you got to consider.
At the same time, do not have this cost as a major factor. Like, we are not saying that do not apply to University of California or other universities. Those are like really, really good universities. And if you get in, congratulations for that. The thing is that do not miss out on your scholarship application. Like, I have one of my friends who is studying in UIUC, and he lives in Champaign area, and he's studying in like full scholarship, like 100% of his tuition is waived. So even though if your living expense is a lot, if your tuition is less, that kind of like compensates.
You can save money in different ways.
Yes.
So tip number 4 is reaching out to the seniors or the current students. What does that mean?
You will definitely know a lot of people might know a lot of people who are studying at UTA or any other admins that you've got, and say, just reach out to them because they would have been there for at least a few months. They would have seen around. They would have understood the job opportunities. They would have already spent some amount of money. So you can get a rough estimate of what to expect before coming in. And the best resource for finding seniors is LinkedIn. Just Google the college. You will find any amount of people. So just reach out to them. Most of them will be they'll be
reaching out to the seniors who have like done the program. So another reason as to why you can reach out to them is they can actually help you to kind of like figure out that subject is stressful. Do not take this subject with that subject. Like in our course, HR metrics is a heavy subject, so do not take that with compensation. So your seniors would advise that because they have done the program and they have taken like every single subject. So definitely that's a good option. You can reach out to them.
And learning from their experience will help you understand if that's the kind of experience that you're looking for yourself.
Yes.
And that's along with LinkedIn, which is great. There's Facebook groups, there's WhatsApp groups. There's so many ways to connect with people that are here and can give you the real facts. But you have to do your own research. It takes a little work, but it's going to be worth it. If you're lazy, you're going to end up making a bad decision. So do the hard work. The 4th tip, or kind of 4th suggestion or factor, is about being a follower. So what do you guys mean by being a follower?
Being a follower basically means that just because you have your best friend in that college, so you would apply to that college and that'll be your only college to, kind of like apply to. I mean, it's good to have friends and family. Like talking about myself, when I came from New Delhi to Texas, 2 of my sisters were already living in Texas. So my elder sister, she did her economics graduate. She did her economics grad from UNT. So she was close by. So I knew that, if something goes wrong, I'll go to her, or when I'm feeling homesick, I would just visit her. Another sister of mine stays in Plano, so I knew that I had family here. But at the same time, do not have this as the major factor in kind of like shortlisting. If I had got admit in UCLA, I wouldn't have dropped that application, dropped that admit and come to UTA to pursue my MBA. But then it all depends. I mean, everybody has different tolerance for stress and anxiety. And if you're like more of a person who will be like, it'll be good to have family around, which is like, will always be good to have family around, then you can have this as one of your factors.
There are no students who have gone to colleges and maybe not gone to a better college or their dream college because of a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend or something. And then sometimes it worked out, but sometimes they regret that. So remember, this is a holistic process. We're giving you lots of factors to consider. This is just one important one to think about that some people maybe don't always think about. And the next one, again, just after being a follower, this next tip, number 6, is don't rush. And so what do you guys want to say about not being in a hurry?
Because the entire process is like, it's a long process, okay? After that, once the process is over and you have a bunch of admits, your first reaction would be, and that is my reaction, that you'll be so excited and you'll be like, okay, I've got this admit, and you'll not even wait for other admits and you'll just click on accept it. But then there'll be other admits that might come in. Probably you were applying to your safe universities, and your safe universities gave you a thumbs up and said that they want you. But then your dream colleges, they might reach out to you later, and then they might say that, okay, we're interested to have you. But then
And
it's
you
all
might even
like,
get scholarship later too.
exactly. So do not rush into the process. Like wait for your application decision for different colleges. Once you have a bunch to select from, then kind of like make the decision.
Yeah. You
Yes.
should tell about
And
your experience.
there are some other colleges that might pressure you into accepting their decision. I know a few admits that I got that said you have to pay some amount of fee to confirm your admission. It's all right. Just take some time, weigh your options, because you will have quite a few of them. Just don't rush into anything. Just consult your seniors, ask them how the college is, if it is actually worth the $500 or whatever amount of money that they ask you to deposit, which you will not get back. And please, even if you do deposit $500, don't use that as the reason to go to that college, because 500 versus 4 years or 2 years of college education is not a lot. If you get a way better admit, please go to that, and $500, it's okay, it's a mistake.
You'll earn that back really quickly once you get a job here in
Definitely.
America. So before we get to the important factor number 7, we're going to talk about the chai question real quick. And the chai question is for you guys: do you have family in America? If you have any relatives or family here in America, let us know in the comments and tell us where they're at. And maybe that's an important factor as you're deciding where to study here in America. So comment below if you got family and where they're at. And factor number 7, guys, is the reputation. Let's talk about the reputation in the decision process.
So 2 kinds of reputation: the overall reputation of the college and your program-wise reputation. So some colleges or universities might not be that reputed, and they might not have that much of brand name. Like every person is not familiar with that college or university, but then their academic program might be very, very reputed. And the thing that we have to consider over here is that the companies, they know that universities over here, they have a very strong finance program or a very strong HR program or a marketing or a CS program. So they know it, and they want to recruit more from more students who have done their graduation from that university.
So what's your example?
Like UTA is not in the top 20, but then our HR program, our MS Human Resource Management program, is the 5th best in the US. That is the reason as to why I came to UTA.
Anything else about reputation, Nischith?
Reputation you will have to consider, because see, for example, as he said, you will have to consider program-wise rankings. Even in computer science, there are a lot of streams. Say, for example, I plan to major in databases and artificial intelligence. So I will have to look out for the professors who are teaching artificial intelligence, and if the research of the professors and the way they teach is actually the way that I like to be taught. That is also one of the things that you have to consider. That's about it.
Yeah, and for the college reputation, in America, the rankings are a lot less important compared to other countries. Top 10, top 20 maybe matters. There's the brand and the alumni, but after the top 10, top 20, the next 100, the next 150 are all the same, and they're all good.
Yeah.
So the next 100 colleges, whether it's 35 or 73 or 110, they're all going to be good.
Yeah.
You're going to get a good job. So unless it's top 10, top 20, the ranking isn't that important in America. And so we've got a quick bonus for you guys. The bonus factor is the local international student community. Why should that be a factor considered, and what are the pros and cons of that?
Sometimes you like to be near people from your country. So the pros would be that you would be surrounded by people from your country, but the cons would be that sometimes jobs here in America are more dependent on references, and networking over here is very, very important. So if you're not interacting with the Americans or the locals over here, that could be a disadvantage, because although you would have a lot of Indian friends or friends from whichever country that you came from, but when it comes to applying full time, you would have nobody who would be able to refer you, unless those people also have like a full-time job or something like that. Your friends over here, people from your home country. But
And the other point is just that if you have your people around, you're just in your comfort zone, you're not stepping out. So I think you're coming out to the US just to step out of your comfort zone. So that is one factor that you'll have to check out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like UT Arlington, UT Dallas, tons
Yeah.
of international students. That's great because you can have roommates that
Yeah.
eat your food and speak your language, and your classes are all people from your country, and even the professors are from your country.
Yeah.
But then you don't really meet Americans, and it makes it really hard to network. But
Yes.
some other colleges with less international students, it's much easier to get an on-campus job. It's easier to network. You get stretched more, and you have more American and other local friends. And so, yeah, there's definitely pros and cons to both. Something important to consider.
Exactly.
So there's 7 tips, 7 factors for you guys, plus a bonus on how to shortlist your university. I hope this was really helpful. Give a big like and thumbs up to Divyanshu and Nischith for sharing this advice and their experience. We hope that, this will really help you guys out. And if you guys get into your college, let us know which one you choose. Give us a comment below about which one you choose. And hopefully these factors will help you guys out. We'll see you guys next time at Shine Coaching. Thanks so much. Cheers.